Durag Wisdom here, folks, and welcome to Earth Date Y2K 18.09.26 with just 41 days to our midterm elections. By the way, I have a special note for you folks. There's a news update in case you haven't heard. I'm sure you have. A third woman has stepped forward to accuse fiend Kavanaugh. Her name is Julie Swetnick. She's being represented by Attorney Avenatti. If you're watching MSNBC or any of or CNN, not Trump Network, you get some real more horrific tales of the sex abuser in chief, his quest to put more and more of his ilk in our government. You know, sex abusers, totalitarians. I continue to be outraged at what these traitorous Trumpist creeps are trying to do to our country and to the people who strive within. After witnessing part of the traitor Trump travesty in front of the UN General Assembly, I've committed myself more than ever to globalism, but not the way it is being implemented now. That later. But in the meantime, I support globalism because being a good neighbor is vital if we are going to evolve. And it is important for us to gain comfort together on a living planet alone in our solar system. Ask yourself this question. If your country, or even your own neighborhood, was the last remaining, would it ultimately survive? It won't survive without good and caring neighbors. In the classic movie It's a Wonderful Life, the protagonist George Bailey is many things, but most of all, he is the culmination of what being a good neighbor is all about. I can't stand many of the people who live in my development, but I am fond of just enough of them to understand that if any of my neighbors needed help, whether I like them or not, whether I share their political views or not, I will be there to help them however I can. Human relations have much to do with good cultivation. If over the years you've nurtured your garden of relationships, in the end, they will shower you with beauty, well-being, and security. Spoiler alert, George Bailey of It's a Wonderful Life never realized until the end of the picture that he may have not been rich in possessions, but he was a multi-billionaire when it came to enjoying a loving family and enjoying good friends. The director and writers of It's a Wonderful Life may have not realized it, but they were globalists with a humanitarian message for all times and all places. Traitor Trump stood in front of the UN General Assembly and fundamentally spewed forth ignorance and hatred. Population and technology have brought this planet closer together, but sadly not so that we get along better. What came out of the traitor Trump's sewer was reminiscent of the 1920s, when we also decided to withdraw from the world stage and isolate ourselves. The answer to that was Hitler, and millions dead. Traitor Trump and his nationalist filth would have us all relive that horror again, because when you withdraw from the world, you leave an empty space, like that emptiness inside of Trump himself, that, like it or not, usually gets filled with monumental evil. Good neighbors stick together to fight the evils of fascism, totalitarianism, and extremism. Good neighbors shield each other from despair and destruction. Traitor, bastard, birther Donald Trump and his ilk, on the other hand, are not good neighbors. They lack the capacity for kindness. Respect and human dignity are absent from their vocabulary. Traitor Trump spat on our planet and on humanity at the General Assembly. Have we learned nothing at all from our isolationist tendencies? Whether the traitor Trumpists or other fascist, totalitarian nationalists want it or not, technology has made our world smaller than ever. Globalism is here to stay. Which is not to say that globalism is paradise. In the hands of the human species, globalism, as well as everything, is up for abuse. I am a globalist, but I will always understand that globalism needs laws and regulations. For example, if I buy a product in the USA, I should not have to be sent 5,000 miles away to India to get help if it breaks down. If I have a bank account in India, that is where my help in matters of my account should be, not 5,000 miles away in the USA. Also, globalists should respect the locality of each member country. I do not want to see the same chain stores or restaurants that I have in the USA all over this freaking planet. When I visit another country, I want to do local business, not global business. Globalism must also respect localism. Globalists must also respect the worker. We receive goods and services, folks, from countries right now who brutally exploit their workers. In a global society, workers must be accorded more respect and even more unionization than ever before. For a global world, we need a global union. For this reason, I call for the reestablishment of the International Workers of the World. Look this union up, folks. It was founded before or after the end of the 19th century. Its intention was and will be again, if it is revived, to unionize every single worker on this planet. One of the most perfect global societies ever depicted was on Star Trek, with its United Federation of Planets. It was not only globalist, but also intergalactic. The Trumpist philosophy, on the other hand, is negligently isolationist and totalitarian nationalist, a horrific combination on a planet that is more dangerous now than ever before. Traitor Trump insulted the world at the UN this week, but more importantly, he is insulting us in front of our neighbors and telling them that we would rather have walls than friends. This pernicious, traitorous creep will never, ever represent me. Sincerely, Durag Wisdom, Patriotic, Globalist.